Hello and welcome to the Cathedral Library, where we're going to spend some time over the next few weeks looking at some of the treasures which are within this library and which might be a source for reflecting upon our lives at the moment. It also ties in well with the Heritage Open Days that are happening throughout September, where you can see some of these treasures on the cathedral floor at various days. Do look on the website to find out more. I wanted to start the series with a book which isn't magnificent in its looks, but it is of real importance in the history of Chichester Cathedral. The library, which we see around me, is in fact quite a modern collection, unlike some of the other great cathedral library collections in the south of England. Why is that? Well, the library was largely destroyed during the Civil War when Oliver Cromwell besieged Chichester and set about destroying the deanery and also took the collections within this library and dumped them unceremoniously in the deanery, which was roofless. Many of the books, therefore, were quickly unusable and totally destroyed by the elements. But Bishop Nicholson of the time did manage to retrieve a few items, and this book here is the only book which we can be absolutely certain survived that appalling destruction. And how do we know it's from that period? How do we know that it precedes the Civil War? Well, you might already be able to identify one of the key signifiers, which is this Tudor rose, which tells us it's from, well, at least before the Stuarts and their arrival in 1603. But more than that, we know that this reference to TB here almost certainly refers to Bishop Thomas Bickley, who was appointed by Queen Elizabeth as the Bishop of Chichester. And it reads that he gave this book to the Dean and Chapter of Chichester for the increase of their jewels. Jewels is quite a strange word, but that in this context, but refers to Bishop John Jewel, one of the great defenders of the Elizabethan Church, whose writings occupy most of this book. As you can see here, as we look through it, this is in essence a series of discourses about the nature of the Church of England in conversation with his one-time friend at Oxford, Thomas Harding. The two of them knew each other at Oxford, but went their separate ways at the Reformation, Harding remaining a Catholic under Queen Mary, whereas Jewel went abroad and returned to England under Elizabeth and becoming one of her leading bishops as Bishop of Salisbury. This was a very important text, the back and forth revealing to those who read it the importance and significance of the Church of England, its origins and its authority as the Church of England governed by Queen Elizabeth. And so it is, Bickley would have given it to the chapter so that they could be well versed in the arguments which were shaping divisions between Catholics and Protestants in England at the time. What might it have to say to us today, for whom these divisions seem a very long way away? Well, we're still not in communion with our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters. The divisions which shaped these two friends in the 16th century abide with us. Also, the book is a reminder of the painful and violent divisions which shaped England in the 17th century during the Civil War, and the legacy it still leaves even within this library. Finally, it might say something to us about our own nation at this time, about the divisions which shape us around sovereignty, around authority, and the need to persist in friendship with our European neighbours. It says something too about seeking that friendship with our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters, even today in our ecumenical work. But perhaps there's something even more personal than those two objectives. They say that after 3 months, any friendship will deteriorate if you don't stay in touch with each other, if you don't see each other and hug each other. All of that is much more difficult for us at the moment. What are the friendships which are a cause of concern for you in your life? Who might you need to pick up the phone to get back in touch? Perhaps there's some friendships, like as with Harding and Jewel, which seem totally broken. Maybe there's an opportunity there to pray and seek that reconciliation, which Christ calls each one of us to engage with. He prays that we may be one as he and the Father are one. one in that love, one in unity. That's something for which we can all work and pray for.